Hello, one and all. Whoa, that was one big zoomy close thing, wasn't it? Just a quick update on what I'm up to at the moment. And hey, this is a guy from that I'd finished a while ago. This doesn't necessarily show up so well on camera there, but yeah, I didn't want to like weather road him or anything. And then this piece here as well is another one that I've just managed to dug up in time, ready for 8th. It would take way too long on my scenery. This was one of those cases where I wanted to go for a much sort of lighter stone than the type I usually do. Other than that, with the Dark Angels, got this guy over here. Didn't want to spend too long on that like I normally would as well. A Redeemer, yeah. Yeah, the one to talk about at the moment. Oh yeah, and this thing's a couple of bits of scenery I've showed you before in another video. This weird thing, whatever it is now done. As much as I want it to be, basically. So yeah, I did typhus corrosion the hell out of that actual split in the metal, and then stick a bunch of rusting in on it, and it just looks nasty. And I've painted up these two alternate sort of blue so that it just gives it a little extra differentiation to the whole thing. Like, oh, what's that? It's those two bands are a bit different. Now, you remember that Aquatic Scenery stuff that I was telling you about? So this is it here. So this is my repaint of it, and I've gone to town on pretty heavily weathering it. Now you might see some of the glow there on the rocks. That's obviously been repainted to my grey type of scheme that I've been going with. And you can see here, so the idea being that these are the pipes where the juice, the sewerage, whatever it is, has been running through, and it's dried up now. It's stopped, but since then, there's the leftovers, and the way I chose to go. Oh, and there's a real runny lot there. Yeah, you can see the real inconsistency. So I've really hit it with corrosion there, and then not elsewhere, and then like a bit of colouring there, and then that band down there, and then this, and just to sort of break it up because it's just so much flat everywhere. I wanted it broke up. Oh, that's a greeny bit. That's this bit. That's right. So yeah, you can see that's kind of leaked on down and stained. And now the way I did this look, and it probably, it's one of those things that probably looks better to the eye, and I imagine it won't show up via the camera, but it's essentially it's typhus corrosion again, all in on that spot, and then a bunch of Waywatcher green all on top of that once it's dry, to really stain it. So you've still got that brown ickiness, but it gives it a kind of green hue. And then what I did is I went in with some Retributor armour pot and dry brushed it on, being a bit careful with it. Now, with the green going with the typhus corrosion, it then kind of gives it a slight, that kind of sheen hue of like the substance being somewhat noxious or being somewhat slimy, or well, not necessarily slimy, but yeah, a sort of like a sheen to it. It gives it like a little, if you can get the balance right and get the sheen balancing right. I even put a bit of sheen on that bit right there, even though it didn't need it because it wasn't a leaking point. Just something where it's like got on it somehow. See, I don't know if you can tell that's kind of, it's sheening. I don't know. This is the work in progress going on with this at the moment. It still needs to be dry brushed up and properly painted over. This has gone a bit wrong here, where the white undercoat on these things came off while I was trying to put this on, because this can obviously scrape that thin layer off, and I've tried repainting the red on, and it just comes off because of the rubber stuff on it. So I'm going to need to try to properly undercoat that and properly recoat that red, and then I'll highlight these properly, dry brush all of that up, and then we've got ourselves a minefield. But you see what I was going for here, yeah? So you can just like pop this down somewhere as terrain and say, yes, that's a minefield if you move through it. Dangerous terrain tests on blah, whatever it's going to be. So yeah, that's the update at the moment. It's all gone very Deathwing here at the moment. Got various guys in various states of completion going on, including the big man himself. Configured, unfortunately, for the 7th edition setup of Belial. It's the chapter master there. Well, not chapter master, the company master, the first company master. Configured with that, because obviously, you know, swords were not really that great back then. The other thing to show you, though, that I've still planned to be working on, that I've had sitting in my box, and, you know, I really want to get it done. Now, with the advent of 8th, buy secret weapon. This resin 3 pieces of the Masterclass Terrain series Scrapyard Destroyed Tank. That's what this one's called. So once we get this out and start doing it, I thought, oh yeah, that kind of looks a bit Space Marine-y, tanky, kind of, or something's been in the area. We can work with it anyway. It's some more scatter terrain to do something with. Oh yeah, and then after that, you know what? I don't know what I'm gonna work on. It's just like grab anything I can and do what with it I can. So yeah, I'll see you. Oh, actually, good challenge. I'll put a challenge out for you guys. This thing here. This is a sprinkler. Yeah, you know, one of those where the water comes in, blah blah blah, and then it and does your lawn, right? This one doesn't work. It's broken. So I'm going to use it. I need to use it for something. How do you think I should use it? What do you think I should make it into? Suggestions, guys. If I may even do another video for this to ask for the same suggestions. That could be an idea. But yeah, that might need unscrewing and that to try and sell it as whatever. My first thoughts are something along the lines of some sort of like power conduit thing that spins around and amplifies electricity into the center of an area. You know, like in those computer games where you get into like this vast cavern thing and there's going to be a boss fight in there, and somewhere up there there's this like power thing and it's spinning away up there, sort of whatever, and it's like this platform thing. You know, it actually the shape of it, this could even be water based, so it could be floating on the water and then, you know, able to spin its power, because obviously we can't say, oh, this is a futuristic copter or these are weapons, because it wouldn't fit the theme. But if it's something like, oh, it's kind of like some sort of energy conducer or something like that, you know, maybe we can go with it. How I'd sell energy, maybe crackling between these, I don't know, maybe some wire drilled in between them and then paint them up and you know, obviously spray this whole thing and then disguise it in every way that I could possibly think of. And if you've got any better ideas, guys, for this, what do you reckon? Hey. Right, until next time, I'll see you at the table, be it this one, that one, the game one, or the dining one. You can come over for dinner, maybe, if we get acquainted. See ya.